you awake? Oh, good, you're awake. It's me, the monster in your bedroom. Do you want to hang out? Don't worry about that dog man outside. I locked your windows and your bedroom door for you. I've got this creepy story I'd like to tell you, would you mind? I mean, if you don't want to hear it, just say so. I can always use sleep paralysis on you and tell the story that... Okay, calm down. Get comfortable because now it's just you and me. And I can tell you the very true story of... the invisible colored thing. Ready? I don't mind if you'd like to sip hot cocoa through this, or something cooler if it's warm in your bed over there. If you feel the need to pull the covers up over your head, I will take that as a personal compliment. Alrighty? Fine. Then let us begin. This is a story about someone you know. Someone you know very well, in fact, but you've never heard this story before. When I'm done with this story, not only will you see this person in an entirely new light, but you'll be way too scared to get to sleep tonight. What person am I talking about? Well, I'll just let you figure all that out as my little true story progresses. So this person we're discussing, let's call them Captain Protagonista, was called into a coroner's inquest since they were the only witness of some kind of animal attack that resulted in the demise of an individual we shall refer to hereafter as the victim. A nearby medical examiner had been unable to fully comprehend the way the victim had passed on and was most curious to hear what the captain had to say. When they sat down and told their version of how things went down, though, the officials present had even more questions than before the meeting had begun. So Captain P and the victim were on a walk through a particular natural area which shall remain nameless. You know exactly which one. It's located pretty close to where you are right now as you're listening to this, right? Relatively speaking. The captain and the victim appeared to be in that obscure location to have a secret conversation of some sort. Neither of them appeared to be dressed for camping or hiking, yet the captain studiously avoided any explanation of the purpose of their strange meeting. Since the victim had clearly been done in by an animal, and not a human, the captain was not under suspicion, and the inquest was limited as to how much they could dive into the personal lives of the two people without the willing cooperation of the surviving member of the duo. So, here's what Captain P told the assembled. Get comfortable. This account takes a minute to unfold. I quote at length from the testimony given at the victim's coroner's inquest. Quote, the victim and I were having difficulty conversing because we felt certain that we were being spied upon. After some length of time, we could hear the sound of some large man or beast inside the woodline, confirming our suspicions. Angrily we called to whomever was in the woods to show themselves, and there was a great crashing sound as whoever or whatever was in there moved quickly through the dense undergrowth to better conceal their location. It was too late, though, as we both had become alarmed, and we both knew we were in danger. Turning around to leave, I heard the large man or beast rushing out of the vegetation behind us, and I shouted at my companion that we needed to run. Turning around to see what was actually chasing us, I saw nothing at all. This caused me to laugh and to let my guard down. I told my companion there was nothing following us, and in the very next instant, I felt myself bumped into by something musky smelling and larger than I was. I went flying, and yet I could not see what had thrown me backward. Landing in the wet sand at the edge of a pond, I got all wet, and so became concerned with extricating myself from the water and the muddy beach. Looking around for and calling out to my companion, I discovered I got no call back from them. My own problems shrank in importance as I searched around for wherever they had gone. This was when I spotted the victim again, or at least parts of the victim. This is not to say that their body was not intact, because it was. It was just that somehow, sometimes, I could not see an arm, or a leg, or parts of their sides. It was as though something were between me and the victim, and yet what I saw was what was behind the victim, not in front. It made my brain feel as though it had been stirred into a drink. I know, and you know, that the victim's remains are still all together, and yet sometimes I witnessed parts of my poor companion disappear and then return. You call me in here today hoping I can explain to you whether this was a bear or cougar attack. You noticed, no doubt, that whatever hurt this individual had hands. You can also tell from the extant evidence that the hands it had are far too large to be human. I'm sure you've also noticed that the beast has claws, but the claws are too large and too widely spaced to belong to any known creature on the surface of this planet. I would imagine this is one reason why you all seemed so particularly interested in my testimony. Well, I'm sorry to ruin things for you by providing such a complicated answer. And there's one more thing I need to inform you of, which is only going to cause even more confusion in you as it has in me. As I saw my companion suffering the attack of this invisible whatever it was, I became desperate to try to save him. I picked up rocks and tossed them at my guess of where the beast's body might be located. If I saw one bounce off something that wasn't there, I used that location as my next target. I found a heavy stick on the ground and went to work with all my strength, flailing wildly at my invisible opponent. And then it stopped attacking the victim, and I saw it appear to go from gaseous to liquid to solid form in the space of a few seconds in front of my eyes. And the solid form it took was one of a large canine, reared up on its hind limbs, charging forward toward me, fangs bared. I fell backward onto the wet ground and covered my face with my arms for the inevitable attack, but as you know, that never came. When I opened my eyes and looked around, the creature was absent. Sadly, the results of his appearance were not, and my companion was no longer with us. You ask me how such a thing could possibly be, and for that, I think I might have an answer. Just as there are infrared or ultraviolet colors that human eyes can't see, so there must be infrared or ultraviolet life forms. Either that, or there are chameleon creatures out there who can at least sometimes become the color of invisible, at least to creatures such as us humans. Such a creature as this has to have been what did the victim in. End of extended quotation. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like a dogman with predator-like cloaking abilities. The inquest allowed the captain's testimony, but ruled that the victim had been done in by a bear. Everyone laughed at how crazy the captain must have been to think such a thing as invisible werewolves could possibly exist. So, did that story ring a bell? No, I'm not asking if it reminds you of another narrative. I'm asking if it brings up a sense of déjà vu. Don't you remember anything like this ever happening to... Really? You don't? Wade, what year is it tonight? It's 2023, right? What? Oh, I'm so sorry. None of this has happened to you yet. Wow. Well, please do me a favor, okay? When it does happen, can you please pretend that you had no foreknowledge of the dogman or anything? It could get me into a lot of trouble, seriously. Until next time, this is the monster in your bedroom, daring you to get back to sleep. Huh? What's that? Just kidding, I've got to haze the new monster. Seriously, if you liked what he did, please let us know and show others the video. If you didn't like it, then leave comments about how great your old pal Bigfoot is, and we'll all have a big LOL at the shadowy hat guy's expense. I'd like to name Godzilla Tim Walker our executive producer for multiple episodes this week, and this episode you're watching can be the first of several. Godzilla Tim is kind of our #1 supporter. He deserves to be executive producer more often than we can give him the title. Nobody supports us like he does, so we're gonna do more episodes this coming week in which we will have new rhymes for Godzilla Tim. Here to explain all the ways you can help the channel and what perks you can expect in return is international TV spokesmongrel Henry Lee Dogman. Hank? Thanks, Biggie. And thanks to all of you for watching this far. If you liked it, please click like. If you'd like to see more of our work, please subscribe. And also click that bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we put out a new episode. To become an executive producer, you can donate to us through the thanks button under each of our videos or through our paypal.me/PeterBernard209 page. To receive cool perks like secret uncensored Dogman episodes far too wild to ever run on this channel, you can become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button. Or join our PayPal subscribers club at peterbernard.com. Joining either at the $3 a month level or above gets you access to our over 25 hours of secret uncensored Dogman stories available nowhere else. Do you have a scary story about Dogman or some other kind of high strangeness that happened to you? Let us know by emailing us at scarystoriesnyc@gmail.com or by leaving us a voicemail message at 804-LA-SCARY. You may need to call back on that one. It cuts off after I think 3 minutes. And if you don't want to do any of that stuff, thank you for simply watching to the end. Good night, and have a scary tomorrow.
Come back for more scary stories.